What's up, guys? Welcome back to Thought Cluster. I'm Luke.
I'm Griffin.
And...
Fuck, I'm Grif. Damn it. Restart.
Dude, come on.
Alright, thank you guys so much for watching.
See you guys in the next episode.
What the fuck is up, dude? I haven't seen you in like 18, 7, maybe 8.
More like a week.
How about that? Alright. Great. Okay. First topic. God, transitions. Transition.
Don't have them.
You know what? How about this? We need something for transitions.
The music.
No, like that's the intro though. That's like end and start. I think maybe we should say anal for transitions.
Okay. Anal. Next topic. Oh.
Anal. Okay. Is there a problem with showing... I'm reading from my notes. Is there a problem with showing off your body for money?
No.
Now, can I give a little context here?
No.
I'm going to do it anyway. Thank you. Okay. So you know who the Bella Delphine girl or whatever?
Yeah, you did a video on her.
I did, yeah. Stop.
Yeah, I watch YouTube.
Me too. Someone posted... And they were like, it was on Instagram, and they were pissed. This was on like Discovery page or whatever. They were pissed off because she was making money on Snapchat, you know, showing off her tits and stuff like that. And for me, that doesn't make me mad. Like, that doesn't, strippers or anything like that. Now, I get that some people are in like, you know, a rock and a hard place or whatever. And they're like, you know, I have to do this for money.
Right.
Where, I don't know if you have to. I feel like if you like doing it and you want to do that, I don't see any problem with that. But like, other people are like, well, you should respect your body and you shouldn't show it to anybody. But like, for me, it's like, I mean, you're not necessarily disrespect your body. You got the goods and you're showing them off, and it's making you revenue. I don't see how that's a problem.
Right, especially if you have the body to do it. Like,
yeah,
if you like,
she does. I follow her on Snapchat.
I mean, like, even if you didn't have like the body to do it, it would like, if there's any way to make money, make money. Like,
yeah, like you fucking need money.
Especially like people who are strippers. I mean, yeah, not all of them are in the right place or the right mind, and they don't have the right body to do it. But if you can make money off of doing what you do, then do it. Like, that's how you make money.
I mean, even if you don't necessarily have like a great body and you're still making money, like, you're making money.
Right.
Like, I don't see any problem with like a private Snapchat or like sending nudes. Like, I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah. Especially on Snapchat, because it goes away.
Exactly. I mean, you could screenshot that shit.
Yeah, that's true.
You can get screen record out. But no, like, I'm not mad that I get why he sees it that way of like, no, you can't fucking do that.
Right, moral ground. It's
the same thing, and we're not going to go too much into this because it's like super political, but like abortion and stuff like that, like I don't want to go any further than that. But no.
I mean, abortion,
I'm just saying,
am I right? Okay, next topic.
It's just wait, do you disagree with abortion completely?
I mean, honestly, I don't know what my stance is on abortion.
Maybe I should, you know what, fuck this. You know what? And no. I'll explain mine. So there's pro-life and pro-choice. Pro-choice is like whether or not she has the choice to choose,
and then
keep the baby. Pro-life is just the baby stays. Now for me, so the whole thing is like, so for me it's, if you get pregnant and you don't want the baby, I think you have the right to abort it, but I do think that you should strongly consider not. But if you do ultimately come to that conclusion of like, I'm going to get rid of the baby, I'm going to fucking off his ass, I don't hold anything against you. Now, I think the best solution is just don't fucking get pregnant in the first place if you don't want a baby and you're not financially there or mentally there to handle a baby. Now, I get that there are cases of rape, but those are like, I don't hope you know this, and a lot of people don't know this, but like the cases of people being impregnated by rape, preferably women, you know, men don't usually get pregnant, but when that happens, that's a very low chance. But like, even if that does happen, I mean, I think that's totally up to you.
Like, this is kind of weird, but like for my mom, she, you know, she's had like these surgeries or whatever because she's had brain tumors, obviously. Yeah. So if she were to give birth again, then she would die. Yeah. Like if she would die if she had birth or gave birth, have birth. But
with birth.
So she would ultimately die if she gave birth, which means if she was raped, very, like you said, very low chance, very, very low chance. And she's not even trying to get pregnant right now.
Whitest neighborhood.
Exactly. But if she were to get pregnant, she would have to abort to live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then that would, to me, I feel like, would be a better choice than
she's an established woman.
Yeah, to kill yourself just to let another thing that wasn't even supposed to happen live. Yeah. You know what I mean? But also, I feel like in the rape aspect of this, you should abort the baby.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't rape, if you meant to go like have a baby or even not have the baby, but you just went to have sex or whatever, and it just happened like on accident. I think the condom snapped or something. I don't know.
The condom snaps.
But I don't know. That would fucking hurt. But it maybe happened. Who knows? But I mean, I'm saying. I don't think you should probably abort it then, because if you did it, that means that was your fault.
I think if you had sex with the intent of having a baby, and you're like later on, you're like, I don't know, I don't really want to.
Like you're a piece of shit person.
You are kind of you're a fucking cunt. But I mean, if you abort it, I'm still not gonna be like you murder. Like whatever. I don't care. Now, if the baby pops out of you and you stab it, you may be a murderer. I don't know. But I don't know. I think
there's people with like the coat hanger shit where they're like,
the fuck?
You've not heard of the coat hanger?
No.
They'll take coat hangers, all right, and they'll stick it inside of them and abort the baby that way. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
Some like Resident Evil weird shit.
That's fucked up. I am good.
Hard pass.
Yeah.
But no, I think if you want to send nudes and you're making money off that, I mean, it's so different than being a porn star. I think there's too much shame.
Yeah,
in that.
I agree.
Like personally, nah. But if that's what you do, and like. Okay, what is it? Johnny Sins? Do you know who him?
No.
Okay, well, he's a porn star. Fun fact. But he has a YouTube channel. And he popped in my recommended, and I started watching his stuff, and then I found out, like, oh, shit, he's a porn star. Knew I'd seen that fucker before. No, but he talks about it, and he's, like, the nicest dude. Now, obviously, it's a YouTube video. He could be totally faking it hard. But, like, he spends time. He edits his own videos, I think. I'm not actually 100% sure on that. But he makes these videos, and it's, like, vlogs or whatever, and he's, like, dressed up in a police suit, or he's like, yep, we just got done with the shoot, stuff like that. And it's, like, awkward, but it's, like, he's just doing a job. Like, it's very professional to him. Like, it's not...
Right.
Because he kind of breaks the whole stereotype of people thinking that you just show up and there's people fucking everywhere and there's cocaine on the table. Or he's like, no, it's a very professional environment. He's like we're there to work. And I don't see any problem with that. Like, it's business.
Like, I mean, I've considered becoming a porn star myself.
Yeah.
I know, I'm just kidding. But, they're, like... I feel like
how I agreed with you. Yeah.
The you remember the song Mia Khalifa by I Love Fridays or whatever. Yeah. And one of the lines in that song says, "They want you at work, so girl, go do your job." And it's like they're trying to roast her by saying like, "Oh, you better take that call or whatever. Like they're calling you. You better go fuck some guy." That's her job. Like that's what she does. Like,
I just think that's.
Don't fucking roast her because of it.
I know it's a weird profession. Like, in general, it's a weird thing. Because usually, like, we wear clothes every day to, like, cover that shit up.
Oh, like, I'm an IT business manager. Oh, I'm a porn star. Yeah. Like, that's a little out of the ordinary.
It is out of the ordinary, and I totally get that. But, like, okay, this kind of brings me into another point that I was, like, I didn't know if I was going to talk about it just because, like, I didn't really have a good transition. But now that we have the anal transition, we're good. And this relates to this. I was sitting in here, and I was trying to edit a video. My sister came in, and she just wanted to hang out. And she was, like, comparing me to you and your sister because you guys are, like, super duper lovey and stuff like that. And you guys just have, like, a great... Me and my sister aren't because I'm a very distant person. I like to quietly work alone. I'm like Bob from The Incredibles. I work alone. No, but I'm in here working, and she, like, brought up the point of, like, well, YouTubers, they don't do anything. Like, she's like, that's not even, like, a real job. Like, it's not even a thing. First of all, I'm not a YouTuber. I don't make money off of my YouTube videos. So I don't call myself a YouTuber right now. Eventually, goddammit. No, but like I don't think she understands how much work goes into it.
Right.
Now, I'm not trying to...
Especially not even being a full-fledged YouTuber.
Yeah. Like, I'm doing this and trying to look for money. Now, I'm not trying to talk myself up or anything. Fuck that. It's just a matter of, like, you don't understand it. So you can't make judgments just because, you're pissed off that I don't want to hang out with you.
And a lot of people do that. Like,
because everyone does that to me because I'm a distant person. And people are like, hey, let's go have lunch or let's do this, that, and the other thing. Let's go fucking putt-putt. And I'm like, no, I'm working on a video. Like, you always fucking do that. Yeah, it takes time. It's no different than any other job.
Right.
I'm just not getting paid.
Like a bunch of people,
Wait, can I just finish my point there?
Yeah.
Okay, so my point there was you don't understand, like, the porn and, like, how that kind of stuff works, so I don't feel like you can really say too much on it.
Right.
You can obviously have your opinion. Like, that's totally fine, obviously. Free continent. But but I don't think you can fully judge something until you've, like, experienced it.
Right.
Like, you don't know if you're gay until you suck a dick. You know what I'm saying? You don't know.
I mean...
I'm kidding.
You got a point. But
put your pants back on. Okay.
Sorry. No, but, like, yeah, a bunch of people, like, for me... one of my personality is I always knock things before I try it.
Yeah.
So like
I think most people
but like
do that.
But to the point where I'm not a dick about it, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fucking pleb. Like when somebody's like when I see somebody carrying themselves in a certain way or they like talk to a girl a certain way or this happened to me like literally the other day in JL when we were at like break.
Mm-hmm. JL's the career center
right,
that I used to attend and he does it.
Right, the automotive shit.
Background knowledge.
But so we have a break in there like every day at 1:30 and me and my friend Zach we sit down in there and this guy walks in and you can tell he's just a fucking douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
The way he carries himself, the way he's doing shit. And he sits there or he stands up, he puts all of his stuff down on a table, right? And he looks at this kid and the kid looks at him, they make eye contact. I don't even know if they knew each other. And he goes, "What?" And then the guy goes, "What?" And then the guy goes, and then they just kept saying "what" back to each other. I'm like, bro, you just fucking started this. Like, you can't like fucking say "what" to him.
That pisses me off so much.
And then he sat down, right? He had a bag of Cheetos, hot Cheetos.
Oh shit!
I know. But this guy had a bag of hot Cheetos, and he grabs one, okay? And the first person that's closest to him, he goes, "Here, try it, eat it."
Like
and the guy goes,
face.
"Yeah." He shoves it in his face, and he goes, "No, I don't want it." And he just instead of eating it or like putting it or like throwing it or something, he just puts it on the table right in front of him, so he'd eat it.
Yeah.
It was such an asshole thing to do, and he was just being like a douchebag about it. But
like those people are just they're not aware of like
right.
how yeah.
Exactly, and like I don't want to be the person that says like, "Oh, those people are douchebags," but I'm never met them.
Yeah.
Like I don't say it to their face, but like in my mind.
Well, yeah, I think judgments are fine.
Right.
It's human nature to judge.
Especially if you don't. Although judging is a sin, but it's to the point where I don't do it towards other people. I do it in my own mind.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't see anything wrong with making judgments in your head because I'm a very critical person.
Yeah.
I analyze things way too fucking much and I make judgments, but I think there's a difference between making judgments internally and like processing things because you need to process. You need to. For me, it's always like fuck that guy until I know them. It's always like that for me, and maybe that's a problem. I don't know. Probably, but I don't know. That's just how it works, and I feel like it's perfectly fine to judge people. Like I don't see anything wrong.
Like Jameson.
Just don't be a dick.
I thought Jameson was like a like a douchebag.
He is though, but I mean he's a nice guy.
But he's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like the other day, Jameson said that he was like doing shit with his girlfriend or whatever, and he was scared that he was gonna get her pregnant.
God.
And then he goes, "I don't want to have a baby like XXX Tentacion and then die."
Oh, fuck.
And then I go, "More like XXX Jameson." And everybody just started laughing. It was an awful joke. Completely god awful. Jameson thought it was the best thing ever.
I mean, he's a nice guy.
And yeah, he's hilarious.
By the way, when XXX died, I didn't know who he was. And, like, my friend Max, he knew about it, and he was, like, super bummed out or whatever. And I was, like, sliding in jokes where I'm like, "Oh, you crying, pussy," or whatever. And then I went home and I listened to his music. Fuck. Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
I'm pissed off about that he's gone. And it's for a stupid reason, too. He got, like, shot or some shit. Like, fuck off.
That's so stupid. In his car buying
fuck off. Well, I think it was, like, wasn't it, like, from a charity thing? Like, wasn't he coming home from, like, a charity? Maybe that was a totally different story.
No, that was a thing.
Oh, no, I think that was Paul Walker.
Yeah, he was just coming up. He went into like a motorcycle dealership. He was gonna buy a motorcycle, and there's actually a picture of him in the dealership talking to like the guy that sells motorcycles or whatever. And then he was leaving in his car, and somebody pulled up on him and just shot him in the neck and all that kind of shit. And then he died. Yeah, that shit is fucked up, dude.
That is. I mean, I didn't understand. Like, obviously, I don't really care if you make jokes about it because, like, I'm a strong believer that you can make a joke about anything. I don't really care. Me personally. But like after like I heard his songs like that, like I was like fucking like I didn't know anything about him. He could have been a fucking dick in real life. But like just through his music, like I know it's like kind of the mumble rap thing or whatever, but like the vibes that it puts out, dude, it's fucking good.
What music or what songs did you listen to?
The first one, let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna go to my Spotify playlist here. Whipping out the Spotify. The
only thing I'll say in defense of why you shouldn't like XXX Tentacion is that it was proved, I think, through like a video or like an audio tape that he did like abuse his wife like a lot. Mm-hmm. and like that's kind of shitty.
I mean,
like, you're kind of a shitty person if you abuse your wife.
The bitch probably deserved it. No, I'm kidding.
And she was pregnant at the time.
Revenge. Too. Revenge is the first time. That was the first time I heard of it. I'll send a link to you if you haven't heard it.
Yeah, I don't know that.
It's a really fucking good song. Like it's just the vibes that it puts out. It's really fucking good.
The only songs that I've listened to are like the popular ones, like "Sad" and like.
Yeah, "Sad's" a good song though. The "Whoa" song.
Yeah, "Whoa" is really good.
But like those vibes, like it's good shit.
Right. Yeah.
I really like it. But like that's kind of the cool thing about music though. Is like you could be a shitty person, but I mean if you're making good music, people are gonna forgive you.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think you should forgive him for beating his wife. But I also don't think that he should be dead.
Right. Yeah. Like I don't feel like you should have gotten shot for that.
I just don't know why. Why the fuck? You'd have like okay for me as like a law abiding citizen. You know I'm not a goody two shoes by any means. Okay. You know I fuck up. Everybody fucks up, right? But I respect the law, right? And I follow that for the most part, right? But for me to like think about that to hate someone so much that you go break the law. You get a gun and you shoot them. You pull up on them in public and you shoot them.
And
like
they're
how
dead
much?
Now. Like,
yeah, they're gone.
They don't exist anymore.
Like I feel like in a war setting, it's a little bit different. Obviously, I don't know. I'm not going to speak too much on that because I don't know jack shit about like war or anything like that. But just being in like a safe, you're in your country, and you get shot. Like that's fucked up. Do you know how fucked up you got to be in the head to like go out and shoot someone?
Right.
Like I know like you make jokes about death or whatever, but like. Still, that's fucked up. Just like that mental place that you have to be in.
And the thing is like, you know, people say, oh yeah, you know, you get and this is speaking on war, and like I've used to
been to war.
I used to watch like a lot of documentaries on like Vietnam and stuff like that, and one thing that the Vietnamese, or I almost said Vietnamese, that the U.S. soldiers in Vietnam weren't allowed to do was to bring home trophies, and some guy.
What do you mean trophies? Like a knife from a dead guy or something like that?
No.
Well, they give you
U.S. soldiers used to find pleasure and joy taking trophies from the people that they killed.
Mm-hmm. So like a knife.
Like taking a knife to their ear, cutting it off, and putting it on a necklace.
That's like some Daryl shit.
Right. And yeah, exactly. Like that was from The Walking Dead. Like The Walking Dead highlighted that almost. But. There was one person.
Do you think that's like a primal instinct?
Sort of.
Like I feel like that's
for people to get rushed, like an adrenaline rush, like a dopamine rush from killing someone.
Yeah, and there's been like chicks or like moms or whatever that like flip cars because their baby's in it from their adrenaline. Like that shit's crazy.
Yeah, and then
adrenaline's the best shit ever.
There was one guy that was talking about it, and he was like, you know, to shoot somebody, you know, in the head and watch their like brain explode is like. You know, terrifying.
Yeah.
Because you like that person grew up with like memories and like,
I feel like
age and like years. Because those kids were 18 years old.
Yeah.
There's a song by like somebody named Hardcastle. It's called 19.
Hardcastle.
And it was like an 80s song. And he like put together like all this kind of music and stuff. And it was voices or like clips from a documentary from Vietnam, and one of the main lines in it was the average age for a soldier in Vietnam was 19, and that's like fucked up to go to elementary school, high school, and get drafted and then go
into like one of the most fucking horrid wars.
Over and over and over and over again. I don't know the total casualties of what happened over in Vietnam, but like, jeez. To literally grow up, to be 19 years old, to live 19 years of your life just to go die. That is fucked up.
Yeah.
And like for me, like don't get me wrong, like I really, really love the fact that America is what it is, you know? Like that Americans have stood for what they believe in. Democracy.
For the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
We have crazy social justice warriors.
Probably up until like the 2000s, I should say.
We were a great
country.
From
2000.
We were a great country until we were born.
Yeah, exactly. Until me and you were born, everything's gone to shit.
Do you think 9/11 had a big thing to do with that?
Yeah.
Like people freaking
because
out?
Because the war on terrorism, when...
trying to open a can, sorry.
Who was it that initiated this? Bush. George Bush.
W.
W. I don't think... Maybe it was W, but I'm not for sure. It was either George Bush or George W. Bush. That initiated the war on terrorism where they did, you know, Desert Storm, Desert Shield.
Yeah, which my dad was in.
Right. And that, I'm pretty sure a bunch of people protested that. They were like, don't go over there. Let them come to
people
us.
Protested Vietnam. Like, what was it? Yeah, when soldiers got back from Vietnam, there were people waiting there to spit on them.
Right. Because it's like, and nobody got a hero's welcome. That was also another line in that song.
People fucking being ignorant. Like,
right.
I get war sucks, and like it's not.
But
it's not
those
good by
kids
any
didn't
means.
have a choice. Yeah. They got drafted. Like they were.
My grandpa actually ran
forced.
Because he was like, I'm going in. He's like, I'm not going to get drafted into war. He's like, I'm signing up. So he was like one of the first people to just like fucking go, which is insane to me. The fact that he was like, that he's that much of a man that he went to. I mean, he went.
Instead
he survived.
Of being drafted.
Yeah, and he signed up. He went, did his time, and he got out. Like that's fucking insane to me.
And my grandfather, my step grandfather.
I don't think I could do that.
He's actually my great uncle. I think that's what you call him. Like your grandpa's like brother would be like your great uncle.
Would it? Yeah.
Your grand uncle.
That makes sense.
I don't know.
I would just call him my grandpa's brother.
Yeah. So would I. But he was in war. He was in Vietnam, and he had my grandpa and his mom bought him a Bowie knife. It was huge. It was 8 feet. Yeah, I mean, it was probably about 8 inches. It was pretty big.
Almost as big as my dick.
But it was pretty big, and obviously he took it to war. But before he did that, he engraved his name on it. Mm-hmm. And then he wrote on the sheath his name and his badge number. I think I know where this is going. I think he told me. And my grandpa was, he searched his name up on eBay one night or the internet. I think.
Did he die in?
Yeah, he died in Vietnam.
Okay.
And he had that knife on him because he carried it wherever he went. And my grandpa looked up his name, and that night, he found an eBay search thing, and he went to it, and that Bowie knife that they bought him, was on eBay for sale for like $200.
Fuck.
It was like authentic.
Did he buy it?
Bowie knife. Yeah, he bought it back.
That's awesome.
And it had his brother's name on it and everything. It's like super, super cool to find the knife that you bought your brother off of his dead body in Vietnam, to buy it back and have ownership of it after it's gone to a different country and come back.
And gone to war. That's crazy. Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Was it? I have a little eBay story to tell. I think I might have told you this. But, I'll tell the people on the podcast. Anal. No, this is related to what you were saying. So, I have these Dire Wimpy Kid.
Right. Yeah. You told me about this.
Yeah, and I made a video on one of the videos.
I think we talked about this on the podcast, didn't we?
The
collection that you had, and that was way too much money?
Oh, yeah, because yeah. Fuck. Okay, well, I feel like maybe we did.
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay.
I think we did.
The story about... Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, because so basically this dude in England bought it, and it was $70 or whatever just for shipping.
Right.
He only had to pay $15. I would only get $15 of the revenue, but $70 of it goes to the posting. The dog is pissing me off. The mic can't hear it, but yeah, anyway, the postage or whatever was too much. So he sent me an email. He was like, yeah, the postage is too much. I'm not going to pay that. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's fine, dude.
That's insane.
I still have the ad up. I don't know why. I'm going to take it down. Hopefully no one bids on it again. I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm not shipping these out. I'm dropping off at Salvation Army. Fucking hell. eBay.
I mean, honestly.
Okay, Anal.
Do you have a topic?
I do. I just said anal.
Yeah, I know, but I mean that could be towards either of our topics. That's up to you. Because I only have one topic.
Do you have a topic?
I mean, it's just about snow days and shit. But that's not really interesting though. You go on with yours.
I mean, I don't know how interesting mine is. We'll have to get to the GMM intro conspiracy here in a bit, but I'll talk about this. Jesus.
Sorry.
Anal. We should have a button that says anal. So that way, anytime awesome. For transition, maybe we could do that. I don't know how.
Invest.
Invest the money that we make off the podcast. Making none. Yeah. We got a lot of investment. So basically, I saw Ant-Man 2. The Ant-Man and the Wasp or whatever, because it was on Netflix.
I was in theaters a way.
I know, but I finally saw it. That's what I'm saying. Because okay, so this guy, he called me, and you're like, hey, let's go see Ant-Man 2, and I'm like, nah, I don't. Because I don't really fuck with movies in general right now. Because I just don't have the attention for it.
That was a while ago.
I know. Shut the fuck up.
Like a year ago.
I know, but I finally watched it on Netflix. And you know how at the end he's like, okay, spoiler, somewhat alert. So if you don't like spoilers, one, grow the fuck up, you mark-ass bitch. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, just cover yours. I don't know. Yeah, just cover yours if you don't like spoilers.
Pause it and hit the skip button.
Skip to this time. I'll put it up on the screen. So I watched it. You know how at the very end he's in the quantum realm and like they disappear in the dust?
Right.
Okay. And then in the new Avengers or whatever, he's out and he like meets them at the gate. How is that possible?
In Infinity War?
In Endgame. Remember in the trailers?
Yeah, and he's there at the gate. See, the thing is
did he come out?
They think that he used the quantum substance to grow himself out of the quantum realm.
Well, I mean, he did it before, so maybe he could just do it.
So he did it again. That's what he thinks.
They think they ended Ant-Man like he was trapped in there.
Right, but they I think that since he's smart enough to get in and get out again, that he
what
can
if it's
get
not
in
him?
And get out. It is definitely him.
But what if it's not? What if it's like Thanos using the reality stone? No, because all the stones are fucked.
Yeah.
Wait, did all the stones like?
No, the stones are still
or did
there,
they just
but
scatter?
the gauntlet is fucked up.
Did the stones scatter back to their original places?
No.
Okay. Well, I was confused on that.
Because the gauntlet is made out of a special metal. I don't know if you remember this, but is that what it is?
I think so. Well, that's what Thor's hammer, the Stormbreaker thing's made out of. God, I'm a fucking nerd.
But the factory that they produced that gauntlet at, they have to go there, and if Thanos wanted to recreate what he did, or use the stones that he had before, he would have to go back to that factory and make another gauntlet because the gauntlet's fucked up. But he has all the stones.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if the stones like dispersed back to their original places or not.
So
I don't know. I just thought that was weird.
I think that's actually him, and I think that him, Captain Marvel, Tony Stark, and the rest of the gang come up with a time traveling device, and they time travel.
Unless I get the time stone. But can you use it without the gauntlet?
No.
You can't. Yeah, you can because
Doctor Strange is dead, dude. He was the only one that could use the time stone.
Any of them?
Yeah.
Fuck. Wait, he's the only one that can use any of the Infinity Stones.
No, he was the only one that could use a time stone.
Oh. So wait, Immortal. Oh yeah, Immortal can't use it because they can't even touch it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Peter Quill, he touched it for a little. Well, he's dead too.
Well, that's just the power stone.
He's part God.
That's just the power stone, though. And he's not part God anymore. Remember, he sacrificed that part of himself.
Yeah, true. And he's dead, so...
Yeah. So, so they have to come up with a time-traveling device.
I just don't know how they're going to do it.
But there was a leaked picture.
Tony Stark nudes.
It's of like the original set of the first Avengers. And it has Tony Stark, Captain America, Hawkeye and everybody there. And it's...
God, Hawkeye.
But it's them. It's them in the future and them in the past standing next to each other.
Oh, that's cool.
But they're all like in their original suits. It's super cool, and they all have like something on their hand, like on their palm, and it's like this. It's like a wrap, and it has like a big circle right here on the back. So it looks like it's a time traveling device.
You know what they're gonna do?
What?
So this is like kind of the apocalyptic phase, right? In game or whatever. I think they're gonna meet up with. I think we're gonna see a crossover, The Walking Dead.
It'd be awesome. They're in New York. They're like fighting these like alien dudes. Rick Grimes rolls in with the fucking horse.
With a python. Let's figure this out.
We need to get
It's cowboys and aliens all over again. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
That movie's that's actually a pretty good movie. I think that movie was underrated.
It was a good movie for its time.
Yeah, like 3 years ago. Well, it's probably been more. It's probably like 6 or something like that. What was I gonna... Oh, have you seen Shaun of the Dead? Anal.
God, no.
Transition is not
I haven't.
well. Okay, well, it's like a... I don't know if it's like a classic...
I think I know the premise of it, though.
It's like a comedy zombie film. Right. That's all it is. But I watched it on Netflix, and I didn't really... Like I said, I don't really fuck with movies too much, but I watched it just for the fact of, like, I'm a zombie lover. I like zombies, stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, I figured I should watch this. Because, like, everybody always talks about this movie. And I think it's like a cult classic or something like that. Like, I think there was a group of people that really fucked with it. I watched it, and it's like a weird movie. Like, it's maybe it's just not my humor, but I like that kind of humor that they used. Maybe not, because they didn't really use my type of humor. Like, it wasn't like dead humor, like kind of darker jokes. It was just like stupid humor. Like, it wasn't really funny.
Kind of like a Scout Survival Guide.
No, Scout Survival Guide was actually like a good movie. Like, I don't get the appeal around the Shaun of the Dead.
Then I guess I don't know what exactly kind of humor.
I mean, I watched it all the way through. But I don't know if that was because I enjoyed it or just because...
My bad.
I don't know if I watched it all the way through just because I knew that I was like, well, let me just watch this movie. So like, that way I can, if people ask, I'll be like, yeah, I've seen it, whatever. So that way I can understand it or something like that. Or if I had really enjoyed it. Because I don't think, once it was done, I was kind of like, okay. Like, it didn't impact me or anything like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Scout's Guide to the Apocalypse was
That's such a good fucking movie. Jesus.
But in the humor in it was awesome.
Yeah. And that kid, the star of that movie, he went on to what's that new movie? Game Over? It's not really new. It came out in 2016, I think. It's I don't know.
You mean Ready Player One?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He starred in that movie.
I think so.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. It was really good.
There was a book first.
Was there?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. The movie was really good. At the end, it take literally every video game ever made besides Fortnite and put it into one movie. It was awesome. They had the Iron Giant from obviously the movie Iron Giant.
Well, they had A-Team and shit like that.
They had the Master Chief over there fighting all that kind of stuff. It was super cool.
Dude, Iron Giant, that movie fucks.
Yeah, it was a really good movie. I didn't want it to end, dude. It's one of those movies that was dude.
Wait, Iron Giant or Ready Player One?
Iron Giant.
Okay.
It was when he obviously shoots him into the sky to sacrifice himself to save his people. He didn't actually die
at the end. Because remember, he's scattered across the Arctic.
Oh, yeah.
So he's not actually dead. But, yeah.
They never made a second one, though. They need to.
Do you know who played... I know, I hate that. Because, when you watch a movie and you're like... Okay, so, this is how it was for me. I'm trying to think of a good, representation of it. Okay, let's just use Sorcerer's Apprentice. Have you ever seen the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that cast, I really like that cast. And, I don't know about now. I haven't seen the movie in several years. But when I was younger, I would watch the movie every single day. That's not even an exaggeration. It was a religious thing. I would watch it every single day because I loved it. I loved how he was just this fucking nerdy loser because it was very relatable to me at the point. And plus, the girl was hot.
Right.
And I thought powers were cool. But I would watch that movie all the time. And I always wanted more of those characters. And they were going to make a second one. And I was hyped for it. But they canceled it. Which sucks. But... I hate that when you have a cast that you're I want these exact characters.
That's how Star Wars is for me. Star Wars but
Alright, that's gonna do it.
Star Wars The Clone Wars, when they cut it off at season 6, it was awful because it how it ended was the Padawan that Anakin had, Ahsoka.
By the way, Padawan is such a shitty name.
Well, it's not a name, it's just a title.
I know, but I'm a Padawan.
Yeah,
I'm a Padawan.
But you're learning.
But you're
I'm trying to justify.
Get generally pissed off. You storm out. It's not gay.
Dude, shut the fuck up. No. But she ends up
level 3 dungeon master.
Dude, I'm a level 55 boss. 50. But it ends up she leaves the Jedi Council or whatever.
The Padawan.
Yeah.
Is that the girl with the...
I think she becomes a knight, yeah.
Is she orange or some shit?
Yeah, she's orange and green, something.
Great.
But she becomes a Jedi knight or something like that, so she's not a Padawan anymore. And then she leaves the Jedi Council, and then she comes back up in another animated series by Star Wars called Star Wars Rebels, and she faces off with Vader, which is obviously her previous master.
I didn't.
Anakin
Skywalker.
Not
obvious to me at all.
Believe it or not. I just thought it was really cool, but they just left it off. And then they announced season 7 is coming for the Clone Wars. And one of the slides, obviously trailers are very, very impulse pictures of what's going to happen. Well, one of the pictures was of obviously a black screen with text, and it says a war left unfinished. Because obviously they intended to keep going with the series, but they never did. Which is really, really cool because you're oh man, I want to see more of these characters.
And then you finally get it.
Right, and then you finally get that satisfaction, which I'm super hyped about too because it's not going to come until September.
Nerd.
Dude, it is the best thing ever.
You've been watching that show forever because I remember when we we were younger, we were probably 12 or 13. You would always tell me about that show, because it's the animation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I went home, and I, woke up the next morning or whatever, and I was eating cereal, and I watched it, And I was like really trying to enjoy it because like you always talked about it, so like wanted to know what you were talking about. And I was like, fuck, this sucks. And I did not enjoy it at all.
Yeah, it was a thing that you had to warm up to because some people think that like the
well,
the
and we both know I'm
movies-
not the most tolerant person for shows. Like I'm pretty picky with
and like sci-fi kind of shit too.
Yeah, I mean I like sci-fi. I like robots.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't.
I like robot. What do you mean?
Okay, robots is not sci-fi. We have robots right now. I'm talking about lightsabers.
We have
and
fucking
the Force.
Roombas. What do you mean?
All right, let's quote it. Look, let's quote it right now. I thought powers were cool and shit. Man doesn't like sci-fi. Come on.
I do. I like sorcerer type stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm not
right.
really though. I don't fucking know. I don't really like anything. I like. You know what I like?
I hate everything.
I can't watch gameplays either. I like vlogs and I like. This sounds so fucking boring and like plebbish, but I like vlogs and I like inspirational videos as well as like commentary videos. Like I like videos that are like life tips.
Right.
Like there's a guy I follow, Matt Diavella. He's the minimalist or whatever. He's the minimalist. And he does a lot of like videos like financial stuff and it's like super fucking boring, but I fucking love it. And like his podcast, I think it's because it relates to me a lot and like starting your own business and you know, I'm a multi-million-dollar business person. No, but I don't know. I just like that kind of stuff. I haven't been watching movies. Although the other night I sat down and
watching more movies than me. Watching the fucking.
I watched Kingsman and Deadpool.
Yeah,
the other night.
I haven't seen either of those.
Okay, we definitely should because they're actually.
Well, I think I've seen the Kingsman.
I like
not the golden,
movies.
Not the Golden Circle though.
Okay, the
I've
first
seen the
one
where
you need to see that one.
Where
Everybody
steps
should watch
on
that
the
movie.
mine.
That's the second one. That's the second one.
But that wasn't the Golden Circle one.
No, that was the Golden Circle.
Was it?
Yeah, because the first one is just Kingsman and the Secret Service. But no, you need to definitely watch the first one because that's like generally a really good movie. Not that the second one isn't, but the first one's like holy fucking shit.
Right.
It's really good. That's probably the first one's probably my favorite.
Dang, we're only at 36 minutes.
Fuck, no, we got time, brother. But the first one's probably one of my favorite movies ever. And Deadpool's like that's such a fucking good movie.
Right.
I don't like superhero movies like the Marvel ones as much just because they're like it's so family friendly. You know what I'm saying?
I have to pee really, really bad. Oh my god. Can I go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to know like I was gonna fuck shit up.
I'll entertain them. I'm gonna show my tits.
I'll be back to see him.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Alright, great. Don't slam the door.
Sorry.
Jesus. Alright. It's just your boy. Alright, well he goes to pee. Let's pick a topic. Let's talk about fuck. Shit, damn it. Let's talk about ostriches, right? Ostriches are the freakiest fucking things on the planet. Big ass bird, peck your heart out. Jesus fucking Christ. If an ostrich came in okay, imagine this. You're laying in bed, right? Maybe you're with baby girl, right? You're laying in, or baby boy. That's a weird way to say that. Okay, so you're laying in bed with your significant other, and then you wake up to a rummage in the night, okay? Maybe a little pitter patter, okay? You open your eyes, and then you look over, and there's an ostrich standing in your doorway. What do? Do you get up and fight it? You're gonna get up? What if you're naked? Dick swinging? It could peck your dick off, okay? Hard pass. Hard pass on that. Ostriches fucking terrify me. Maybe it's just because it's a big ass bird. I don't know. Looks back. I've been talking about ostriches. I don't know.
Why are you scared of them?
I'm not scared. I'm not scared of them.
Yeah. Okay.
How was your pee?
It was pretty good. I let loose.
Did you?
Yeah.
You didn't flush, did you?
Yeah. No.
Okay. Good. Okay. Okay. So in the first episode, we talked about Good Mythical Morning and how their intros, and I came up with the idea.
In both episodes. Just very briefly in the second one.
Did we talk about?
Yeah, it was very brief.
What did we say?
Because you said, "Oh, I want to talk about it in the next one."
No, I said that before. I said it before we started filming.
Oh.
Because I'm like, don't mention it.
Right.
Because I wanted time to. to come up with my conspiracy.
Right.
Now I looked. So okay, if you guys didn't watch the first episode, which I don't blame
Go
you.
watch it.
I don't blame you. No. We talked about how. Okay, I brought up the point of like, okay, so we have Good Mythical Mornings intros, and they have like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 different intros over the course of their 15 seasons. I was wondering if each season, told a little bit of a piece of a story. Like, what if they were telling a story with each intro, right? That was the whole conspiracy, like, what if, It's just a huge what if question. I didn't have any evidence to back it up. And I did do a bit of, research in rifling through their different intros. And one, I think this would be better in like a video format if I like explained it and then you like show a bit of evidence and you keep explaining it, but I'm going to try and explain it the best that I can. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you. Okay, this is a bit of a stretch, not going to lie, but it kind of makes sense. Okay, so we talked about how the different intros and like that, what if it's like a different world progression or something like that? Like there's their own story in its own, in the intros themselves. Okay, well, I've kind of strayed away from that, and I have this approach of like, the intros aren't telling a story of a different world or anything like that, or the cockatrice, the chicken thing or whatever. They're basically Brett and Link's mind progression. Do you get that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see it?
Wait, like...
So basically the intros are they're how their mind is changing throughout the seasons. It's not clear, but I'll explain it.
I can kind of see it, and the reason why is because, like, the Good Mythical Beast has, like, evolved almost from what it has been, like, in the first season.
I'm not talking about their fan base. I'm not talking about the show necessarily itself. I'm talking about their mental progression.
Right.
Going from 2 engineers to the internet stars that they are today.
Right.
Let me explain. Okay, so season 1, like the damn, it's like the normal, like it's like a nice little breakfast thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
They set out
with
the plate
the eggs and
with the toast that says burnt GMM or whatever. So that's just season 1. So what that represents is that it's a normal breakfast. That's a normal healthy breakfast or whatever. So that represents just their normal life as engineers. Going to work, you kiss the wife goodbye, you go to work 9 to 5, you come home, you take care of the kids, whatever. Normal life, right? This is like exhausting. Okay, and then fast forward a little bit. Seasons 2 through 5, it's I have to fart.
You have to fart?
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about it. I'll hold it in. No, okay, but season 2 through 5, it's that nice bright green world, right?
Right.
Where it kind of goes down the aisle way and it shows the chicken. And it like does the whole thing.
Fire thing.
Yeah. So that was like introducing the cockatrice or whatever. That's seasons 2 through 5, and basically what that represents is it's a bright green world, and they're getting a little bit of money. You know what I'm saying? They're starting to make a career somewhat off of it.
But
it's
like
healthy.
Exploring and all that.
See how clean it is?
Right.
They're healthy. As far as their YouTube channel, it's a healthy thing that they're transitioning into. They're getting success, basically, is the message with that one. Oh my god. You fast forward to season 6 through 8, which they use the intro with it's like the water world almost with like the huge perch or whatever, and it like flies and goes up there. Okay, well in that one, it's a flooded world. If you look around, there's a ton of water. It's like a water world.
Doesn't that end up being like a desert perch?
It will. We'll get to that.
Okay.
But that's a different one. So it's a rocky kind of flooded world. Now, I think this represents, it's a flooded world, so it's filled with ideas, and it's filled with passion. You're also putting the chicken up on the cockatrice or whatever. You're putting it up on a pedestal, meaning that their work is above everything else. Now, there's a couple things that come close to it, but it's not as close as, or as high as the cockatrice is. Fast forward, seasons 9 through 12. It's that dry wasteland. So basically the same intro, but it's dry and it's a wasteland. A little bit of green here and there, but for the most part, it's a wasteland. It's like a desert. Now, this represents, because all the water's gone, all the ideas are gone. They're idealists and they're passionless, but that pedestal is still there. They're still putting it up on that pedestal. So they still have like this high hope for it.
That's still the priority.
But the ideas and the passion goes down a bit. Fast forward to season, I don't know why I'm so out of breath. Fast forward to seasons 13 through 14. It's that kind of weird like animation, where it's like the jar and then it goes in the guitar. Yeah, it's like the blue background or whatever. Mm-hmm. Now this one took some thinking a little bit, not really. So it's like that weird animation thing or whatever. This represents, because there's so many different things happening in that short little span, it's a creativity overlord. Not overlord. Overload.
Right.
Overload. Overlook. So they're getting all these creative, because, you go from this dry wasteland to, like, all these creative ideas flooding back in. It's like, holy shit, we can create. We can create this awesome shit again. So that's that season. And then the current season, season 15, it's that dark kind of multicolored world. There's a bunch of different, like, symbols and stuff like that.
Right, and it's going through all these, like, different kind of things.
Yeah, and the good and the mythical morning. They all represent, like, the Hollywood sign and stuff like that. Now, this represents, in a way, now, don't get me wrong, I'm not doing any of this. This is all for entertainment. I'm not doing this to, like, bash them or whatever. But this is kind of representing them feeding into the reality and, like, kind of showing their true colors of, like, yeah, we're, like, basic Hollywood people at this point. Right. You know what I'm saying? We're at the top. We've made it. We're making money. We're getting bitches. No, but, like, they're fed into, like, the Hollywood thing. Right. They promote their merch all the time. They're kind of money hungry at this point. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They have a successful business, but they've gotten success in Hollywood. They're Hollywood people, right? Not literally, but, right. That's what it represents. And that's, like, where we are currently. So it's kind of interesting to see. You don't really have to, like, it's weird to me that you don't have to look that close to see this story. Right. Like, I know it's a little bit far-fetched, and so, like, you're thinking way too much into this. Of course I am. No shit.
That, and some of these things could go, like, in a different direction. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, when you said, what was it, season 2 through 5, something like that, or season...
For what?
No, it was a flooded one.
That's seasons 6 through 8.
Okay, so that one, like, that could mean, like, they're flooded with, with bad things or something. Could. And that cockatoo is the only thing that's up there. Cockatrice, whatever. Cockatoo, cock-a-bitch. Cock. It's the only thing that's above water. It's the only thing that's standing. And that's the only thing that's above the bad things or something.
Well, it's not the only thing above water, but...
Well, you know what I mean. And there's a few things that are still above. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It is a darker world, so I thought, like, maybe the darkness could be, like, it's kind of creeping in on them.
Right.
But, like, I think it's really, really interesting to see that. Now, obviously, I'm sure that their budgets were different from when they started to now, so they can afford these nice, expensive animations. But, like, it's interesting to see how, like, perfectly it all kind of goes. Like, like, if you notice, I didn't stretch any of that too far. I didn't, that all fits into it pretty well. It's not like, it's like, yeah.
Right.
But if you go from the first one of, like, just a normal breakfast to the end one, which is, like, Hollywood and, like, all these different symbols, like, all these multicolored things, like, it makes sense. I think it shows their mental progression. And I think they're putting that on the screen for you every single time as, like, a hidden message. Because we even talked about in the first episode, the podcast, it's Thought Cluster. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but we do a podcast. But no,
it's pretty successful.
Yeah, we talked about how maybe they're kind of getting worn out. Like, they seem a bit drained. So maybe, I don't know, maybe.
Maybe that's where maybe this is the end, like you said.
Could be. Or maybe we'll get another piece of the story and we'll see if it fits in.
That'd be pretty interesting.
But, like, I didn't stretch anything too far.
Right. And
that didn't take me long at all. Like, I looked at them, and I had this, like, compilation thing or whatever. It was, like, 45 seconds or whatever, and it was just going through each intro. And you just play them all side by side. And I watched it, like, 5 or 6 times through, and I'm like, mental progression. Like, it was so obvious to me. Like, when you see them all together, it almost tells a story. When you first look at it, it's like, there's no correlation here. But if you look at it, maybe that could be their mental progression. I don't know.
The flooded one and the one that's just, like, where it's a barren wasteland, I feel like could be, like the most symbolic ones.
Yeah. Well,
consecutive to each other.
If you put it in, like, a pyramid format, those are at the top. Because that really goes from the flood of ideas to the dryness. Because, what is it? Even Ryan Higa talked about this. He talked about how the number one reason why YouTubers fail is because they give up. They stop. So they could have given up there. And, like, because they were idealists. And another thing that associates with the weird animation one, if you notice, I said that was the creativity overload. That's when they started posting, like, 4 videos a day. Do you remember that?
Yeah, when they announced that.
It makes perfect sense in the storyline. They flooded back with these ideas.
I don't know how much of it was, like, creative, because some of it was...
No, but they're flooded with ideas. They're flooded with content.
Right.
And that's why they stopped it, because people didn't like it. It was too much. That's why they don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
It's just that.
I remember because most of their videos were just like, will it like, and it involved food, like
I think it was a cool idea, and
right.
like props to them for fucking pumping out 4 videos a day
every morning
for 2 seasons. Like that's mad fucking props to you. Like that's a lot of fucking. And I know because I've edited
some of
videos.
them are like at least 9 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, like that's crazy. Yeah. So props to you guys, but I don't know. Maybe that could be their mental progression. Maybe not.
Yeah, it's an uncharted territory.
I just thought it was a little bit interesting how everything just kind of lined up. Because, I mean, I said it before and I'll say it again. I didn't stretch any of that.
Right.
Like, that all makes sense somewhat.
Now all we have to do is just go meet the motherfuckers.
Yeah. Hey, we figured you out. It's like, what?
We got you all right here.
It's just weird. But, I mean...
Maybe someday we'll show our mental progression going from sane human beings to just
rags
24
to riches.
Chromosome retards.
I've got 14. I think I'd probably be like a lizard at that point. I don't.
A 14 chromosomes lizard. It's got 2 heads and 3 eyes.
But that's kind of the interesting thing though, about like, so I've been making on YouTube. Sorry to talk about YouTube a lot. It's like all I do, but. I've been making videos for, it's almost 2 years. On February 13th, I believe it's 2 years of making content.
You started almost. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember.
But, so it's been a while. God. How many chromosomes you got?
Sorry.
But no,
my 24th one.
I've been doing this for a decent amount of time. Like, I'm not saying I put like a shit ton of time in, but it's been, can you sit down?
Sorry.
Jesus Christ. This is why we both have autism. No, but, like, I do this for a while, and it's always, like, in the back of my head, and we've talked about this before, of, like, am I going to make it? Because we don't even know. Now, obviously, this podcast is a little bit of a mess right now. We're still trying to figure things out.
It's only the 3rd episode, guys.
But, I mean, I'm enjoying it. It's not what I want it to be quite yet, but I think it will get there, and I think it just takes a lot of time, especially figuring out the fucking technical part. Jesus Christ. But it's just always in the back of my head of, like, am I going to make it? Because, I mean, if you think about it, why should I make it? Or why will I make it?
And there was like, I don't know if you remember this or not, but did you ever read the book Into the Wild your junior year?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that book is about like this guy throwing away like a bachelor's degree in like business or I don't know, whatever the fuck he did. But he like threw away all these like scholarships and all this kind of stuff. Like he was a great athlete, he was smart, and he just went and killed himself out in Alaska.
Well, yeah,
Not really kill himself, but he went out there and he just hiked. You know what I mean? Like he just went out there and he started
eventually
walking.
cornered himself and he ended up
dying.
dying.
And he starved to death.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, his mindset was probably, well, why should I make it? You know, why do I have to? Why can't I just do what I want? And he probably went out there and did what he wanted.
And I mean, doing a podcast and doing this, like, creatives, like, being a creative is outside the realm of, like, traditional things.
Right.
But it's just interesting. Because, like,
but the fact that you, instead of going to school and getting your degree.
Yeah, because I'm not going to university at all.
Going to get a great job and so all that kind of stuff. You don't necessarily become like what everybody expects you to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, and I get shit for that a lot still. People telling me, like, when I say I'm not going to university or anything like that, people are like, well, why not? I'm like, how do you have any education? Like, you're going to fucking fail. Like, people tell me all that all the time. I'm not saying I'm going to be number one. That's not what I'm going for necessarily. I just want to have some level of success. But what people don't understand is for the past 2 years of me making retarded videos online, I've learned a fuck ton. You know what I'm saying?
And like I was like talking about that with my parents. I was like, Griffin told me about how people like Matthew,
mm-hmm.
how they've, done classes for that kind of stuff and they still haven't learned as much as you do.
Yeah.
And like how that kind of stuff can, relay back to, oh, well, am I going to get a good job or not? Well, that depends on the kind of education you get. No, not really. It kind of depends on whether or not you are determined enough to get what you want.
And I know that, being a creative, there's no guarantee that you're going to make it, right? And I'm not saying that no job is stable.
Right.
Like if you think about it, there's no job that's really stable because anything could happen at any moment. But I think being creative is a little bit, obviously it's a little bit more difficult because you're doing everything. You have to do everything. But like when you get a degree, it's a little bit more plausible that you're going to get a job.
Right.
But I mean, there's still a risk factor and all that. And I think that's why you shouldn't really judge. Fuck, that perfectly brings us back to everything else. You shouldn't judge people based on what they do.
Right.
You can't. Now, obviously, if you're working at McDonald's and you're 30, I don't know how much respect I have for you, but if you enjoy it and you're like, no, I fucking love this, like, fuck, great, do that. But like, if you're working at McDonald's and you're 30 and you're like, going home and you're thinking about putting a round in your head every night, I don't think you should do that. I think you could, I know it's hard work and you gotta step out, but honestly, it's not that hard. Like, you're gonna have to put a fuck ton of hours in, but it's not impossible.
And like for me,
it does seem impossible.
What I'm gonna do is, I mean, like I'm gonna go to, I basically have free college.
Yeah.
Because my dad's, military disability or whatever.
Yeah.
But
you just put up air quotes.
But I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna get my degree, and my dad told me that when he went to college, he got a couple degrees, and everybody wanted him. Like he got job offers, 3 job offers, right as he got out of college.
You have to prove what you know somehow.
Right, exactly. And so they, he went into each job, and he was like, he went into 2 jobs, and he was like, I really don't want to do this. This is not something I want to do. So he went on to the next job, and he came back there. And literally, after he went into that job the first time, and he said, I really don't want to do this, and he went on to the next job, those people were still asking him to come back.
Yeah.
They were like, please, come on, we need you.
Guys.
And I asked him, I was like, Dad, do you ever feel guilty about, like, not going back or, like, not helping them out and, like, giving them the position or, like, the manager that they needed? And he's like, I felt a little bit of guilt, but I wanted to do what I wanted to do. And I was like, yeah, that seems really plausible,
I think...
Like, at the end of the day, it's not about making money, it's about what you want to do.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you can make a shit ton of money while you're doing it,
right,
you're good. And plus, you don't have to
literally goes all the way against what we talked about at the beginning.
What?
If you're making money, make money. Be a stripper, dude.
I mean, okay. I know that it's like, you don't do it for the money, but you need money. Right. Like, I'm noticing that, obviously, more and more as you get older, but you need fucking money.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying you should totally sell out. I'm not just saying, like, if you want to show your tits. But I'm not saying, like, don't go against what you think is morally right just to make money.
Right.
But eventually you need to make money, whether that's getting a shit job or sucking some dick.
And obviously people who are porn stars and the, people who are, these nasty jobs, these people that do all these kind of crazy shit, they don't find anything morally wrong with it. They're obviously still
and they
doing
enjoy it.
Exactly.
They get to fuck for money.
And who would? Obviously the people who do, like that guy that was a porn star or whatever that followed you or whatever.
Johnny Sins. Yeah, he didn't follow me.
Well, whatever. You followed him.
He follows me. Hey, you want to be in a film?
You want to be in a fucking banger?
Hey, can you edit this video? He sends me a link. It's just porn. Fuck. Yeah? He's like, do some cool effects. He's like, make lightning come off my dick. Can you put lightning on my dick?
No, but, God damn it, I forgot what I was saying. I don't remember. Anal.
Ooh. Okay, well, I think that... what I think is interesting about the conversation that we just had, though, is the fact that I kind of gave a little bit of advice, and I'm speaking from my perspective, but what's interesting is that neither one of us have made it, really, at all. We haven't, as far as a creative or just in life. So I think it's interesting that we're...
giving our input on what people are doing.
I'm just saying, like, I think it's interesting. Like, I wonder how we'll view this if we ever actually make it. Because, like, right now, there's no certainty that we're going to make it.
Like, once we have jobs and shit like that. Like, if we get jobs.
If I can figure out how YouTube works. I'm still trying to figure out how to upload.
Get back to me on that, you guys.
How do you get the music in there?
But, yeah.
I don't know. I think it's I'm Scandinavian.
How did I know that you were going to say that?
Alright, we're at 59 minutes. Ugh. I think it was a fucking good pod.
Yeah, I agree. We got some good shit out there.
Got some good shit out there. I have to pee now, so we're gonna fucking cap this.
Yeah.
Bitch! I think I peaked. Yeah, that's gonna do it for the 3rd episode of Thought Cluster of
Anal.
Oh man, we're abusing anal now. We're abusing anus.
God.
Ooh, it peaked a bit. Shit.
Yeah, you got the red bar in there.
Jesus Christ, I have to pee. All right, that's gonna do it for the third. Bitch. That's gonna do it. That's gonna do it for the third episode of Thought Cluster. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.
4 whores.
That's a 4 whores.
The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Okay. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Well, we won't see you. We'll hear you. Well, you'll hear us. Bye.